Hi, I'm John Hood. I'm the author of a new novel called Mountain Folk. If you've watched any of the previous episodes of the Mountain Folk Videos Guide, you know that I've written an historical fantasy novel that's set in colonial America. In those previous episodes, we gave you a sneak peek at some of the themes, the characters, the settings, and the magical creatures that populate the world of Mountain Folk. But this episode is going to be quite different because, actually, Mountain Folk has now been officially published. No more sneaking around. Before I continue, let me explain that term historical fantasy. Mountain Folk is both historical fiction and fantasy fiction. That means you'll witness real-life events and characters, such as Daniel Boone exploring Kentucky and George Washington's army attacking Yorktown. But you'll also meet dwarves, elves, pixies, and a giant sea monster. It's that kind of book. Mountain Folk mostly takes place just before and during the Revolutionary War. The action sprawls over many locations in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, the Carolinas, and what are now Tennessee and Kentucky. But perhaps the most important location is what you can see right over my shoulder here, Pilot Mountain in North Carolina's Surry County. It's just east of the Appalachian Mountains, and it's not particularly tall, but it is notable in other ways. In my novel, the fairies who live up there, up above those cliffs, simply call it the Knob. Pilot Mountain is one of the few prominent leftovers of the ancient Saratown Mountains. The native Indians of the region, the Sara, called the mountain, if you'll pardon the pronunciation, Jomioki, meaning great guide. Because of its distinctive cliffs and the fact that they rise so abruptly above the otherwise rolling terrain, Pilot Mountain has served for centuries as a prominent landmark, a locational aid, and an inspiration for storytellers. It's one of several sites associated with fairy-like beings in Native American folklore. I guess this is as good a place as any to tell you why I wrote the book. I've always loved speculative fiction, from traditional mythology and folklore to modern fantasy and science fiction. And I've always loved American history, so I figured, why not mash them up? Two great tastes that taste great together, one might say. Mountain Folk explores some serious themes: the pioneer experience, the clash of cultures, conflicting loyalties during times of war, and perhaps most important of all, whether the ends justify the means. But my book is, first and foremost, a tale of high adventure. There are heroes and monsters, there are sword fights and knife fights and epic battles featuring British redcoats, continental bluecoats, Native Americans, frontier partisans, and magical creatures. And as a political commentator and columnist for more than 3 decades, I just couldn't help but include some political debates, a few fiery speeches, and a dramatic trial that pits a young, idealistic ranger against a sharp-tongued elder statesman. Who wins? I'll let you find out for yourself. Mountain Folk is now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, or you can visit the book's website, which is simply mountainfolkbook.com. There you'll find a collection of links, reviews, and media coverage. If you missed any of the previous episodes of the Mountain Folk Video Guide, you can find all of them collected on the Mountain Folk channel at YouTube or the Mountain Folk page on Facebook. And finally, if you prefer to shop locally and you actually want me to sign your book personally, then I would welcome any opportunities you might suggest to come to your community to do an event. You can reach me at john@mountainfolkbook.com. For you North Carolinians in the audience, I will give you a couple of dates that are already on the calendar. That's Thursday, June 17th at 7 p.m. at Quail Ridge Books in Raleigh, and September 24th at 1 p.m. at Page's Books in Mount Airy, which is just a few miles from where I'm standing. Thanks for watching.